get your money up. I put money down on all of us, on my people now, on what I love. Ooh, baby, we run it up. Yeah, the minute the sun is up. There's no rest to my shut it down. Whenever I got your money up, believe what I got, put money down. I'm betting on
just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Primetime. Oh, a heck of a move. Man. It's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags.
They're led by the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down and 2. Another tote for Etienne.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
From the gun on third down, Lawrence. That is caught. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
On first and 10, it's Etienne.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. Over the middle, he's got Myers. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up third and 5.
They'll come up facing third and 5.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
He'll try and do this himself. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
That's a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this defense holds on the night's opening drive. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The end result, 21 yards. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says, our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people, and right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Now it's Goff. He's got it complete to Gibbs.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
Jahmyr Gibbs, 33 yards. And the Lions will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
Into the end zone. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Allen, nifty footwork.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game.
They go play action now. Lawrence.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Now Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's ETN.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Brings up 3rd and 13.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Got his man. It's the tight end Strange with it.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way.
It's a loss of 2.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Lawrence will throw. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
7-yard gain on the play. And it's Third down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Lawrence. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brian Thomas, 52 yards. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from evening this one up.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. Look at him go inside the 30. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Lions. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7.
14, Jaguars 7.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguar offense going back to work. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together.
They'll start on the ground. ETN.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here's Lawrence. Got a man, that's Hunter.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
A 3-yard gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Now Lawrence. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. That's caught. It's Strange, the tight end.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
They'll try and set up the screen to ETN.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the 1st down.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7.
And the Jaguars 1st down.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. Running out of the gun with ETN.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. And that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
They'll run with ETN.
That is not going to be any help as they dump it behind the line of scrimmage. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Lions offense led by their running back headed out for the 2nd possession. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this 1st half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
At the 31-yard line.
Now Goff.
That's caught. It's Sam Laporta.
The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Here's 3rd and a few inches.
Here's Goff.
He's got his target. That's complete.
The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Lions, first down. First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Y'all gotta pump my taste. Y'all can't talk about basic. We ain't got low power.
Again, Goff.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Goff.
St. Brown making the catch on the out route.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Gain of 7.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt.
Bates' kick is good.
And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10.
Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence.
And his throw is incomplete.
So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half.
One touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports.
He takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. The Lions getting set to go on offense to start the third. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10
At their own 26.
First run of the game for Jahmyr Gibbs, the Alabama product.
Gets around him.
Down the sideline he goes.
Touchdown, Detroit.
Jahmyr Gibbs
With his 2nd touchdown of the night.
and the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown.
Valuable lesson, man. I had to grow up. That's why I never ask for help. I do it for you and do it for myself. I go 0 to 100 real quick. Real quick. Whole squad on that real. 0 to 100 real quick. Real quick. Real quick. 0 to 100.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Lawrence to throw. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch.
His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up third down now.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big third down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Here's Logan Cook now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Goff.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. Able to slither by. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
Running lanes run a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Back to throw. Lawrence. Over the middle, open is Thomas. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunter. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 23 yards the pickup there.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
He gets it to Thomas. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard.
Back to the ground with ETN.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. ETN once more.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Prime Time.
We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3.
Back now at Ford Field. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th.
Jacoby Myers from 3 yards out. And the Jaguars have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
It's complete, and he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit. kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together. Goff. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards that time for number 14.
That's good. For the Lions, first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
Now, that is his game, and that's what they're going to run.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's Goff. It's complete to Williams. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 27-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
From the 24 now, here's a 2nd and 7.
Goff now looking to throw.
Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs.
Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Goff.
That's to the tight end Laporta.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
First carry now for David Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think as a running back in this spot, you have to understand there's not going to be a whole lot of room to run. And in this case, ball protection takes precedent over trying to make something happen.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
Jahmyr Gibbs,
A 15-yard touchdown run.
and the Lions have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 15 now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told.
And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jaguars offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now Lawrence.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, this defense has been physical all game long, and it certainly looks like they're not going to back off and make things any easier. They want to keep making life miserable for the receivers all the way to the end.
Here comes 2nd down. Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN.
And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Jaguars 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's what they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's 2nd down. Lawrence will throw.
Thomas brings it in. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Again, it's Lawrence.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by DJ Reed.
And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one.
But Charles, a very simple mission anytime that you play on your home turf, and that is to defend your home turf, and today that mission was accomplished.
Look, every offseason, every preseason, the head coach goes in front of the team and says, the mission for the season, defend our home field every time, split on the road,